It's now or never. It's now or never. All right, I'm going to talk to you about this song, Now or Never. I wrote this song when I signed up for a class in this series from School of Song. Shout out to School of Song. A very cool program where they take working songwriters and have them teach a little series of courses. And this was an assignment I got from Luke Temple, who's a great singer-songwriter, to basically take like a cliche, like a love song cliche, pick something like Now or Never, or these ideas of like, give me one more chance, or, you know, classic love song tropes lyrically, and see if you could actually make that idea work in a way that you could stand behind. So I chose Now or Never, and I wrote this song. And then I also chose from a list of chords they gave. And I really haven't written a song like this where I kind of chose from a pretty limited chord palette and made some moves that kind of jump out of key quite a bit. So this chorus, I take like a C minor 6 chord and then go to a D7 sus chord and then to a B flat major 7 chord and then an A7 sus chord, kind of resolving, right? So this progression, you know, you could say it's in a bunch of different keys, but at the end of the day, we're sort of moving in this fashion that allows like a lot of chromatic movement. So for instance, you could just walk down from G, F sharp, F to E. So listen to this line against those chords. We go. Right? So any kind of progression you can come up with where you can get a chromatic line, counter melody in the mix, you know, you might have come up with a progression that's kind of cool, especially if the progression's kind of random like this, right? Where we have a minor to a 7, to a major 7, to a dominant 7, but you can glue it together by this descending Beatles-y type of, right? A quick word on the verses too. Setting it up for you to fail, right? So we have a C2 to a B flat 2, and then a G minor. So beautifully, an A7, and then a C. Our love prevails. So I like this idea of like tying up progressions that move all over the place, right? We get up to that A7. Right, kind of this classic move at the end. So sometimes you can think of composing ideas about how you end your ideas, right? You can do almost whatever you want sometimes, as long as at the end of that whole sequence, you can tie it up in a bow. That's something I kind of like to think about. Last little tidbit I'll give you is the final section in this song that I haven't talked about is maybe what you could call these little bridge moments that happen twice. The song's also interesting form-wise. We basically have that section I played for you in the beginning. It happens and then it never happens again, right? Then we get to the chorus, the Now or Never chorus. And then we have these two little openings, bridge type things, which are pretty standard fare, like a 4 chord, a C. Isn't real, up to the 6 chord, E minor, but I just want something to make me feel like it's now. Right, so that's like a classic progression, like 4. I know it isn't real. Then this chromatic descending 6 chord, which is a pretty standard jazz type move. But I just want something to make me feel like it's now. Right? And so I guess the surprise there at the end really is doing that little sequence. That's what you would normally hear, but instead of doing that, we keep it creepy by going. Right, so keep it creepy. That's a little insight into Now or Never.